Fox Sports News Primetime on Fox Sports Net.
And welcome back to the program. Baseball's latest problem is its umpires ready to walk over labor grievances, but the sport may have a bigger issue with its game in the inner city.
Yes, and we welcome in now our senior correspondent, Diana Nyad, for Going Deep, who tells us what she uncovered in her report for this Sunday's show. Diana?
Well, it was shocking to me, I'll tell you, and that is that 20 years ago, 25% of all major leaguers were African American, which is not really a high number if you compare it to 3/4 of the NBA and 2/3 of the NFL. But the baseball numbers have now declined to a drastic low. The issue is complicated, but if we had to turn to one reason for blacks not going into baseball much anymore, it would be that the game has virtually disappeared from our inner cities. Here in Los Angeles, one small group is trying to breathe life back into the diamonds of South Central.
I drive by those places today, and there's no one there.
Former All-Star Don Baylor, now batting coach for the Braves, is one of the many major leaguers who came out of the inner cities of America. It used to be that baseball was the hot game for poor kids, but all that's changed.
I don't see too many kids out playing baseball anymore. They can throw up a basketball courts just about anywhere, and that's what they're playing.
While 77% of the NBA is now black, African-American numbers in the major leagues are down to a 30-year low, only 15%. And that's because our inner cities have abandoned baseball. When inner city kids don't have organized baseball, they don't wind up with college scholarships, and they don't get a chance to live the major league dream. Pessimists think the cycle is so dismal that 10 years from now, blacks will disappear from pro baseball altogether. This is Jesse Owens Park in the inner city of Los Angeles, where Eddie Murray, Ozzie Smith, Darryl Strawberry, Eric Davis grew up playing on beautiful fields. Well, today there are weeds sprouting, garbage strewn all over the infield. And truthfully, this is all the inner city of Los Angeles has to offer its kids today.
5 years ago, I read the Los Angeles Times, and in the Metro section, there was a tiny little piece that the Board of Supervisors had cut out the funding for Little League Baseball in South Central. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe that was true.
Stan Brooks, an independent filmmaker, doesn't live in the inner city himself, but he believes in a commitment to the children of the entire urban community, not just his neighborhood.
I think for a kid to be able to put on a uniform and feel like a part of something keeps him out of gangs, keeps them out of trouble, keeps them, gives them self-esteem they can't get anywhere else.
Brooks initially got 11 friends, all independent filmmakers like himself, to sponsor the Hollywood Indies Little League. Today, the league has grown to 22 teams. Brooks and his gang have refurbished Helen Keller Park in the heart of South Central. They've groomed the diamond, bought uniforms and equipment, put up a good fence and scoreboard. And they've got volunteer coaches 6 days a week, including former gangbangers like Paul Perry.
About 6 years ago, here at this park, it was really kind of nothing to do. Just a lot of guys just hanging out, mostly gangbangers, hanging out, smoking, drinking. Kids are now coming to the park in droves. And as far as, the program, I mean, now that it's getting exposed, people are coming from everywhere asking us about our league and how can they get in and join. So it's flourishing, and the kids are just coming out in droves, like I said. And it's just beautiful,
It's been phenomenal. And the community has returned to the park. And the county now has invested in this park. They gave us a new playground, they gave us some new lights, and so all of a sudden, what was a dead, deserted community and park is now a vibrant community.
That kid's got game, huh? On the bright side, Major League Baseball's program called RBI, Reviving Baseball in the Inner City, has now 110,000 kids that are getting a chance to develop their baseball skills all across the country. Now, Stan Brooks, the man you just saw in this piece, and his Hollywood buddies are really starting to make a difference here in Los Angeles. It's only a matter of time, we hope, until we start seeing some long-term success for these kids.
And you pointed out, Diana, the diminishing numbers of African-American youths in Little League, at least in areas in the inner city. What about the college level?
Well, I mean, that's the next logical step. If they're not getting much help there and through high school, then what happens? And what's happened is 3% of all college players at the moment are African-American in this country. I mean, to my mind, that's absolutely a shocking number. And if you talk about college at least being one of the feeders to the pros, now we know why we're not seeing as many pros out on the field, African-American athletes.
Well, very nice report, Diana. We look forward to seeing more of that on Going Deep on Sunday.
You got it. See you there.
Right, we'll be there.
We'll be there, too.
You're invited. You want to come?
I will not. Yeah, I'll come watch. I'll give you some support there behind the scenes.